sponsored by Natax Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
We had some severe weather early this morning. Then we've been generally pretty cloudy with a couple showers at times this afternoon. And temperatures have been very warm. In fact, it's 73 degrees in Effingham, but there is a difference. It's 54 in Pontiac, 53 in Watsika. Champaign's kind of right in the middle, coming in at 57, which is where we have our Bratcher weather camera and our roof and dog eye net showing cloudy skies in the area. We've got the winds that change direction too. This front will slide to the north over the course of the evening and tonight, allowing our temperatures to be very mild overnight tonight. So we'll see more winds out of the south by over the course of the nighttime hours tonight. Potential for more severe weather tonight, but we are really eyeing the chance tomorrow for the potential for damaging winds, large hail, and potentially tornadoes. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
We do everything from natural disasters to things like what's going on now.
New York City is the epicenter of the country's coronavirus pandemic. Who's heading to the Big Apple to try and help? Plus, it's a compound pharmacy that's made a change, how the business is shifting gears to help keep first responders safe.
It's like a sonic boom from an airplane.
And it was an explosion people heard for miles. The latest on this house that's now rubble.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Something like this, we don't know if it'll be days, weeks, months.
But they're ready for whatever it takes. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Members of an ambulance service in central Illinois are preparing for deployment. They'll head to New York to help with handling the spread of coronavirus there. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting spoke with members of the service about what they'll be doing and how they're being prepared.
We do everything from natural disasters to things like what's going on now, tornadoes, floods, snowstorms, or just anytime a EMS system is overwhelmed.
And they're being called out again to help in New York. 4 members of Lakeside EMS in Effingham will head out tomorrow. The state has more cases than anywhere else in the U.S., with nearly 50,000 confirmed.
We're sending out 2 teams, and then I'll be building some relief teams and second wave teams to go out as needed.
They also need to make sure they have enough people at home base.
We'd like to send more teams. It's just we need to cover home first before we cover anywhere else.
Everyone going is prepared for almost anything.
Everyone who's involved in the FEMA deployments, they have to have hazmat training. They have to have National Incident Management System training through FEMA.
Among those is paramedic and deployment team officer Tyler Howell. While he'll miss his family, he says he's happy to respond to the front lines.
I've always wanted to serve any way I can, and plus too, when you're a paramedic, I mean, you kind of put everybody else's needs above yourself.
While some ambulance services in central Illinois are going to other areas to help, some, like OSF, are staying right here and say they're fully staffed and equipped to help our area.
Wherever they're all stationed, they are a vital part of protecting their communities, even when they aren't home.
And we like to look at it like if something happened in Illinois and we needed help, we would hope, smaller companies like ours in other states would come and help us.
That was Courtney Bunting reporting. Those 4 people will be leaving in teams of 2 tomorrow. They don't know how long they'll be gone. They are the first FEMA EMT group to be deployed. Members of the Georgetown Ambulance Service were also put on standby yesterday for possible deployment. They're waiting for orders to send people. Speaking of EMS, you wouldn't think twice about taking shelter from a tornado, but some are asking whether it's safe to go to public storm shelters during the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy is live in Mahomet tonight. So, Kevin, long time no see. You have some information from emergency managers and the National Weather Service about this.
Yeah, that's right. It's hard to believe, but some people are going to have to make that decision whether or not they're going to go to those public storm shelters that they may normally go to because they don't have something at home. But today, Illinois emergency managers and the National Weather Service came out with some recommendations on what to do just in case, okay? I'm going to explain a little bit more about what those recommendations are and explain to you what you're going to need to do tomorrow morning, even before the storms arrive. It's going to be really crucial what you're going to need to do to reassure you can even access some of those storm shelters if the weather gets bad. Because let's face it, there are a lot of people that may live in mobile homes and they go to these public storm shelters. That also, along with how some of you in Champaign County it's going to be difficult for you to get some weather alerts due to a weather radio outage that is ongoing, and your weather radio is not going to go off. We're going to talk about that, and then some alternative ways for you to actually get some of those life-saving alerts to keep you guys up to date on this potential for severe weather that is shaping up for tomorrow that Jack's going to have more on. So tune back in a little bit later within the hour, and we're going to talk, again, a little bit more about what IEMA and also the National Weather Service is saying about those storm shelters and more about that weather radio coming up. So stick around, Paul.
We certainly will, Kevin. We'll look forward to seeing you a little bit later. Thanks. Well, 8 more people have died in Illinois because of coronavirus. That brings the total to 34 in the state. Almost 90% of those deaths were patients 60 years of age and older. There are almost 500 new cases of COVID-19 in Illinois. There are more than 3,000 cases in 40 counties. Here's a look at the map of central Illinois. Champaign has 1 new case in the county. The total is at 11. McLean County now has 9, including a death. Sangamon County has 9 cases and 1 death as well. Iroquois County reported its 2nd case today. An agreement to make the Lakeland Fieldhouse in Mattoon an emergency medical site passed in a special meeting today. The agreement is similar to a 2009 deal between Lakeland College and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The hospital now has the ability to use the Fieldhouse in case of what they call a medical disaster. The facility is able to house 200 patients. The school says the agreement is precautionary at this point. We have new details about a house explosion in Vermilion County. It rocked a neighborhood south of Georgetown last night before 8 along Old Dam Road. No one was hurt and no one was living there, but people tell us they could hear the explosion from more than 10 miles away. WCIA 3's Jen Lask was there as neighbors saw the damage left behind.
It's like a sonic boom from an airplane. All the neighbors started calling, and people from Olivet, Westville, surrounding areas.
The darkness blocked people's view of the destruction, so some came back in the morning to see what was left.
There is debris everywhere from this explosion, things hanging in the branches all around where this house once stood. The only part that is still slightly intact right now is that patio over there.
The blast rattled homes and nerves for miles, but could be felt far more deeply right next door.
Scared me to death. The house is all in my backyard.
As for Steve Henderson's own home,
my whole house is destroyed inside.
He's scared to imagine what would have happened if he hadn't gone to bed early.
Right there where you see that smaller piece, the second set of wood, that's where my kitchen's at. And right there is right where my chair is at, and I sat there all the time.
Henderson and his 6 Chihuahuas are safe, but still.
Yeah, that house is supposed to be 120 years old now.
He'll have to say goodbye to the place he raised his children.
We moved here when I was 3, so this is his baby. I mean, all the repairs and everything, he did it.
For now, Henderson is staying down the street with his son, Brian.
I guess it's just time to pick up the pieces. I mean, he's really connected to everything here, and chances are we're going to have to level this place.
With Henderson's home blown off its foundation, he'll have to lean on his family for support.
I know I can't stay there no more.
In Georgetown, Jen Lask, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Terrible situation, but you have to be thankful no one was hurt. Fire marshals are investigating the cause of the explosion, while insurance companies are going over damage estimates with neighbors. Many people who are out of work have had issues trying to file for jobless benefits. What state officials now say about trying to make a claim. Also tonight.
This was just a blessing for us.
It's a pharmacy that's been open for over 20 years. Now it's now reaching out to help first responders in this time of need.
We had a round of showers and storms come through early on this morning. Now we're kind of waiting for the next round coming in overnight tonight. We topped out today at 60, above our average high of 56. Coming up, we were talking about the potential for severe storms tonight and tomorrow. It's a very windy weekend, and the good news is once we're done with the weekend, it'll be drier. We'll talk about all that next.